Thinking about getting into a hybrid Toyota vehicle, but you're a little bit worried or concerned over facts like the hybrid maintenance cost versus a non-hybrid Toyota? Well, in this video, we're going to cover 5 facts of the hybrid Toyota vehicles versus the non-hybrid Toyota vehicles, starting with the most important fact number 1. Fact number 1, hybrid maintenance cost versus a non-hybrid Toyota vehicle. So some will say that over the life of your vehicle, if you have a hybrid Toyota, that you will run into a lot more maintenance because there's a lot more electrical components and you've got a big battery that's sitting underneath the vehicle, electric motor, and you don't have that stuff really in the non-hybrid Toyota vehicles. But this is actually not accurate information. First off, let's actually start off with that high voltage massive battery that is sitting usually underneath your floor bed of your hybrid Toyota vehicle that powers your electric hybrid components, etc. It is backed by one of the best manufacturer warranties available. That's right, the hybrid battery itself in Toyota vehicles has a manufacturer warranty of 120 months or 240,000 kilometers. That's a coverage of nearly 10 years for the hybrid related battery. And just so you know, other hybrid related components in your hybrid Toyota vehicle are covered for up to 96 months or 160,000 kilometers. Now, how much can it cost you if you did need to replace your hybrid battery in your hybrid Toyota? Well, some sources have said it can cost anywhere from around $3,000 to $5,000, depending on a number of factors like exactly what year, what model and trim your vehicle is, and if there's any other work related involved. Now, keep in mind, I myself at the store I'm at have never heard of us replacing any hybrid batteries, and I've been there a very long time, and we get thousands of vehicles into our service department every year. Most of them, or a good portion of them, are hybrid Toyotas with hundreds of thousands of kilometers. You got to remember, taxi cab drivers, Uber drivers, high traffic, high distance customers that we do have and see. I haven't recalled anybody getting a hybrid battery replaced. So with that very strong warranty from Toyota, from the manufacturer, is there really anything to worry about in terms of something going wrong when you're talking about your hybrid related components? Because you got some very good and aggressive coverage there. Let's talk about the overall scheduled maintenance on a hybrid Toyota versus a non-hybrid Toyota. I'm actually going to put links in the description below that shows you the recommended maintenance, but I'll review it here as well in this video. And you'll see the hybrid related components don't really have any specific or any different maintenance that's required other than changing out the air filter that actually cleans out and filters through the air that's passing through your hybrid high voltage battery, which allows it to stay cool, which allows it to stay working properly. That's really the only extra maintenance that's involved in a hybrid Toyota versus a non-hybrid Toyota. In fact, hybrid Toyotas actually have less moving parts that you have to worry about in terms of wear and tear when compared to a non-hybrid Toyota. Did you know hybrid Toyotas actually don't have alternators, they don't have starters, and there's many belts underneath the hood of a non-hybrid Toyota that helps to get the engine going that actually don't exist in a hybrid Toyota vehicle. These are all moving related parts that could wear down over the life of the vehicle on a non-hybrid Toyota that you really don't have to worry about when you are driving a hybrid Toyota vehicle, because there's a lot of electrical components that replace those moving parts. Now that we've taken care of fact number 1, and hopefully now you understand a little bit what is really involved in maintaining a hybrid Toyota, for the most part, it's plug and play. It's very standardized in terms of what you would need to do in a non-hybrid Toyota versus the hybrid. In fact, there's actually less that you need to do other than that little air filter that sits underneath where the hybrid high voltage battery is. Which brings me to my next fact, which is fact number 2, and that is that there is no charging involved when you have a hybrid Toyota vehicle. A lot of consumers, viewers, and customers are still a little bit confused on what needs to happen if you're driving a hybrid, not a plug-in hybrid, but a hybrid Toyota vehicle. So that's a Camry hybrid, Corolla Cross hybrid, RAV4 hybrid, Highlander hybrid, etc. There is no charging involved. It is called regenerative braking. So every time you brake on your vehicle, your hybrid Toyota vehicle, you are actually sending power back to your hybrid high voltage battery. And in fact, this charges it and gets it up to the level that it needs to be so that it's ready for the next time that it needs to be used or for the next time that you need to be driving in hybrid mode. So in fact, our hybrid Toyota vehicles are extremely self-sufficient. There's not much that needs to be done. You can literally just go in the vehicle, drive as if you were driving any other Toyota vehicle in the lineup. Fact number 3, you will save fuel. This is not a question. This is something that has been proven time and time again with every single model that we have. So for example, if you're comparing a non-hybrid Toyota RAV4 versus a hybrid RAV4, there will be a fuel savings. Same thing as the Corolla Cross or Corolla sedan with the hybrid equivalents. Without question, you will save fuel. It doesn't matter if you're doing city driving, highway driving, a combination of both. Now, depending on your exact driving style and habits and a few other factors like what type of temperature or climate you're living in, that's right, the colder the temperature, the less efficient your hybrid powertrain system will be. And that's because there's a chemical reaction that takes place in the hybrid system that actually takes a little bit longer to take place in very cold temperatures. So it means when you're driving in, minus 10, minus 20 degrees temperatures, you will use your combustion engine more than you will use your hybrid powertrain system, but you still will save fuel versus the non-hybrid Toyota. Fact number 4, you will spend more upfront for a hybrid Toyota versus a non-hybrid Toyota. Whether it's new or pre-owned, there is generally around a $3,000 to $4,000 price gap between, let's say, a non-hybrid Toyota RAV4 versus a hybrid Toyota RAV4, depending on exactly where you're located and what model year the Toyota is that you're buying. But keep in mind, if you're trying to find a Toyota hybrid on a budget, it's sometimes easier to go with the non-hybrid equivalent because they're priced less from the dealers and from the manufacturers, I would say. But if you're looking for a hybrid Toyota, do keep in mind that you do typically have to spend around $3,000 to $4,000 more. Some models do have a smaller price gap. Some models do have a higher price gap, but generally your upfront cost on a hybrid Toyota vehicle is more than the non-hybrid. Fact number 5, now this has pretty much almost always been the case, but it kind of escalated over the last couple of years with regards to our demand and with regards to the overall wait time. You typically will have to wait a little bit longer for a hybrid Toyota vehicle versus a non-hybrid Toyota vehicle. For example, let's use the RAV4 again. You can probably get yourself into a combustion-only gasoline Toyota RAV4 within a couple of months, depending on the exact trim, model, and where your location is. But if you're looking at the hybrid alternative, it can definitely be double or triple that in terms of a wait time, depending on where you're located again, what model, trim, color combination, etc. So if you need a Toyota vehicle in a hurry, sometimes you might have to go for the non-hybrid option because generally the hybrid equivalent is a longer wait time. Yes, due to the increasingly high demand and popularity of our hybrid Toyota vehicles, waiting for them can sometimes be quite longer than when you're talking about the non-hybrid Toyota vehicle. If you want to know a specific wait time, you can leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get back to you. And again, depending on exactly where you're located and what model and trim you're looking at, these wait times can definitely differ. So in a nutshell, hybrid Toyota vehicles don't necessarily cost more or have anything really different in terms of maintenance cost. Again, taking a look at the two comparisons, check out the links below as well. There's really nothing different that has to be done. In fact, You can argue that there's less to be done on the hybrid Toyota vehicles than the non-hybrid Toyota vehicles. And in terms of over the life long-term wear and tear, think of it as your gasoline combustion engine that has all the moving parts gets a break every once in a while because it yields to your hybrid powertrain system. And when your hybrid powertrain system is active and working to get your vehicle and your Toyota going, while the other moving parts kind of get a little bit of a break. This is the 2021 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid XSE non-technology package, and in this video I'm going to review this 4-year-old SUV and see how it's held up against 4 years of driving and nearly 100,000 kilometers. First things first, this is one of the most popular trims and models offered in the RAV4 Hybrid currently, being the XSE in the tech and non-technology package. And yes, Toyota is carrying through this package and this kind of configuration on the 2026 redesign for both the US and Canada. You can get them in the HEV and the PHEV. But back to this nearly 4-year-old hybrid all-wheel drive SUV. It's finished in the Blizzard Pearl White with the piano black accents. We're going to take a look at how everything has aged so far. This one currently does have the Toyota Safety Sense 2.0 in it, and it has a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder hybrid Synergy drive powertrain system. We're going to check out the hybrid powertrain system as well. And unfortunately, this is the year before Toyota made some changes and refinements to the current gen Toyota RAV4. For example, this is considered the older style front headlamp for the Toyota RAV4. In 2022, Toyota upgraded the headlamps to this type of design with a high and low beam separation there, and they also upgraded the alloy wheels from a different design than we're seeing right now. Currently, the XSE package that we're looking at and the current 2025 Toyota RAV4 XSE does feature an 18-inch piano black alloy wheel like this one here, but in a different design. Now, this Toyota RAV4 does feature and have 219 horsepower and puts out around 221 pound-foot of torque. It's also capable of towing up to 1,750 pounds. It does have sport-tuned suspension, which you can tell here by those blue arms that you get standard on the XSE Toyota RAV4. It's hooked up to a 55-liter gas tank, and it is rated to have a combined city and highway fuel economy average of around 6 liters per 100 kilometers combining city and highway. And I am going to hop in the interior once I show you the fit and finish from 4 years ago to see exactly what the average fuel economy is for this all-wheel drive hybrid XSE Toyota RAV4. Now, back in 2021, there was no XLE all-wheel drive premium package or premium model for the Toyota RAV4 hybrid. That came out in 2022. So if you wanted leather or Softex interior, which I'm going to show you the interior in a second, you had to go with at least the XSE non-technology package, which is this one here. Although it did have Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, you did have standard equipped blind spot monitoring system. And opening up to the interior, very good quality finish for a 4-year-old aged Toyota RAV4. Check out the power seat function, which came standard with this model. You've got the Softex interior with the blue accent stitching and piping. And I gotta say, this has just over 95,000 kilometers. And take a look at the seats. They are not really creased or crinkled in any way, shape, or form. And they've held their form pretty well over the years, wouldn't you say? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, anytime I've ever reviewed a Toyota vehicle with piano black trim and accents, I've always had someone in the comments section say or mention that the piano black isn't going to age well and that you're going to be able to see a lot of damage, imperfection, and stone chips. But I got to tell you, for this 2021 Toyota RAV4, the piano black has held up very well, and this is all original. Nothing has been replaced or repaired, repainted, I should say, on this RAV4. Let's take a look at the piano black roof, because that's typically where you'll get a lot of damage or imperfections. And I mean, yeah, you do see a couple of chips here, but really nothing that would overly concern or bother me, especially after 4 years and nearly 100,000 kilometers of driving. Taking a look at these bottom rocker panels here, piano black finish on the XSE and XSE Tech. I mean, look how good condition these still are in. Toyota has really stepped up the quality here when it comes to paint, fit, and finish on these Toyota RAV4 hybrids, which is why they're in such high demand. All right, I hopped in the interior. Let's take a look at this multi-information display system, which houses a lot of your customizations, settings, and features pertaining to the vehicle. Check this out. So not bad. I'm on a full tank, and it's has a range to do 676 kilometers. Keep in mind, it's a 55-liter gas tank. Not bad at all. That could also, of course, fluctuate depending on how you're driving, how many passengers you have, the weather, of course. But look at the average. It's averaging pretty darn close to the report of 6 liters per 100 kilometers combining city and highway. It has an average of 6.3 liters per 100 kilometers combining the city and highway. Not bad at all. Now that I'm on the interior of this lovely 4-year-old Toyota RAV4 hybrid, if you are currently watching this video because you do not own a Toyota RAV4 hybrid and you wanted to see how they perform, feel, and look after 4 or 5 years of use, because you're interested in a hybrid but you don't quite own one or drive one yet, well then this is the perfect opportunity to upgrade your interior OEM all-weather floor mats to a set of mats from LastFit, who is the sponsor of today's video. These all-weather rubber floor mats that LastFit sent me are actually made from a TPE material, which is a property that combines both plastic and rubber and gives you the best of both worlds. They are not too firm, hard, or stiff. They're very easy to clean, and they don't give off any offensive odors, and they will also fit the interior of any current generation non-hybrid Toyota RAV4. These all-weather floor mats from LastFit are far superior and give you more protection from the OEM mats, covering higher corners, edges around the front, back, and that middle row hump that we have on the current generation Toyota RAV4. They also come in a very neat, tidy, and compact packaging, making it very easy to install and uninstall. All right, everyone, let's continue on checking out this lovely, very good condition 4-year-old Toyota RAV4 hybrid. In terms of the hybrid synergy drive hybrid powertrain system, in terms of how it's responding, how it is reacting to the acceleration, the deceleration, the engine braking, everything seems to be flowing perfectly, which I'll show you in just a second as I drive this vehicle. Taking a look at the battery life of the 12-volt battery. Right now, it is in extreme heat because it is very hot here in Ontario, Canada. It's close to 40 degrees, I should say, and the vehicle has been sitting for some time. So right now, the battery life is a little bit less than 50% on that hybrid high voltage battery. So I might be using more of the combustion engine as I'm driving the vehicle, and until I can send some energy back to that battery, which mainly happens through regenerative braking and coasting as I'm using the vehicle. And here is an example of what I'm talking about. You can see here as I send power back to the battery, the engine, or sorry, the battery, the high voltage 12-volt battery, or the high volt battery does regenerate further up to and past the 50% mark. So it's clear that this Toyota RAV4 just needs to be driven. As I've done so many videos in the past where I've talked about the care and the overall maintenance and guide for a Toyota hybrid vehicle, how to properly use it and ensure longevity. And one of the things I always talk about is not letting the vehicle sit for long periods of time, because that will in the long run potentially do some harm to your high voltage hybrid battery and it won't really give you the best efficiency in between uses if you're having the hybrid vehicle sit for too long. So make sure you're driving your hybrid Toyota vehicle on a regular basis. I'm going to show you the back seats as well and tell you about another feature that we don't currently have on this style of Toyota RAV4 for this year, but you currently have them in the current generation and most likely in the 2026 as well. But before I do that, check this out. The Canadian MSRP for this vehicle, brand new, was $39,340 plus your destination transportation fees and taxes. Guys, talk about resale. Go look up a 2021 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid XSE. The selling prices for these things are incredibly close to what they were brand new, and I'm talking around $36,000 to $37,000. This thing was $39,340 brand new, guys. Talk about holding its value. That'll be another video. But let's take a look at the interior here. Guys, I'm really pleased with the quality of this interior after 4 years. This is really cool. Stay tuned, don't leave. I'm going to show you guys the battery and the hybrid system on a short test drive here, exactly what that looks like. One more feature that we did have or do have currently that we don't have right now is the kick sensor tailgate. That is standard equipment right now in the current gen Toyota RAV4, but unfortunately there was no kick sensor on the RAV4. I think that came to us in 2022 or 2023 if I'm not mistaken. Again, let's take a look at this piano black on the back of this RAV4. Still very good condition. No major blemishes. I'm really happy, really pleased with the way this all-wheel drive hybrid SUV has aged. Keep in mind, this is Canada. We do have hot summers, and we do have very, very cold winters, so not bad at all. All right, I'm buckled up. I'm gonna go on a quick test drive just to test out how the suspension, the sport suspension feels after 4 years, 100,000 kilometers of use, to see how the acceleration and the hybrid synergy drive is working in relation to the fuel economy of 6.3 liters per 100 kilometers combined city and highway. All right, let's go for a drive. The whole drive, I'm gonna have the energy monitor on, and I'm gonna keep cutting in and out on clips to show you guys what the hybrid powertrain system is doing, and we're gonna see if we can pick up any abnormalities, which I don't think that we will here. I just want to see the hybrid high voltage battery itself and see how that energy or power level fluctuates here. But overall, I gotta say, this is still a very tight feeling SUV. Nothing makes any funny noises. Suspension feels as it should. Over bumps, nothing loose, nothing clunky, which is good. Let's get on a little bit of a higher speed here. How to use your signal, safety first. Okay. Let's get on. This road has a speed limit of around 60 kilometers an hour. So let's go ahead. So taking a look at the power band indicator, when I'm cruising and not forcefully accelerating, I'm still in the eco band, which means hybrid. Once you're into that power band, that basically means you're using your combustion engine. And right now, in terms of driving mode, I'm gonna leave it to eco just to give the hybrid powertrain system the benefit of the doubt. So as I'm braking, we got a lot of regenerative braking happening. That system, that technology is still working flawlessly on the Toyota RAV4 from 4 years, 100,000 kilometers ago. And you can see as I'm driving, as I'm using the vehicle, guys,
my hybrid high voltage battery power level is increasing, which brings me back to my point. If you have a hybrid Toyota, don't leave it parked. You got to drive these things on a regular basis. It's not good for any electrified vehicle to remain sitting, especially in the heat or in the cold. So regenerative braking does take place as you're coasting and as you're actually braking. So whenever you're not accelerating and the vehicle's moving, you're regenerative braking, which you're sending power back to your high voltage battery. So in eco mode, still very responsive. No complaints really, guys. Hybrid powertrain system seems to be working fine. I'm heavily accelerating right now, so yeah, it's going into the power band. But as I get to my speed limit, I'm currently not needing to accelerate, and I'm in a charge state, which means I'm sending that power back to the battery. This is very quiet. This probably feels just as it did when it was brand new in 2021. I wouldn't even know I'm driving a 4-year-old vehicle. No weird feeling, sounds, etc. A few more features standard on the XSE from 2021. It did come with a leather-wrapped heated steering wheel. Now in 2021 on the XSE, you did not get a wireless phone charger, but you did get this digital display rear view mirror, which is pretty cool technology for a 4-year-old hybrid SUV. Just with the toggle of that switch, or that toggle here, it gives you a clear, unobstructed view of what's happening behind your vehicle. Well, everyone, make sure you check out LastFit if you want to upgrade your interior all-weather floor mats for your non-hybrid Toyota RAV4 current generation. I hope you enjoyed this video review, and you can see how beautifully this Toyota RAV4 hybrid is aging just like fine wine. I know that sounds cliche, but it's true. The hybrid system works flawlessly, and look at the resale value. Look at the pricing, just a few $1,000s away from what they were brand new 4 years ago.
If you own a Toyota hybrid vehicle, or you're thinking about owning a Toyota hybrid vehicle, you may be asking yourself a few questions. You may be asking yourself questions around the topic, for example, of the Toyota hybrid maintenance, how much it costs, what it's going to look like, what you might have to expect, or in general, you might be asking yourself questions about how do you properly maintain and ensure the proper functionality and longevity and care for a Toyota hybrid vehicle. What can you do to optimize your efficiency on your Toyota hybrid vehicle? Well, this video is going to answer all of those points, because I've got 5 tips that I can share with you, plus a bonus tip that I'm gonna mention later on in the video, so make sure you stick around. And these tips are basically gathered from years and years of experience of driving a Toyota hybrid vehicle. And for the most part, you wouldn't really know of these tips if you don't already drive or have driven or owned a Toyota hybrid vehicle. So let's get right into them. All right, first things first, let's get the elephant out of the room, and I'm talking about that hybrid high voltage battery and the need to ever replace it. So a lot of customers and viewers think that replacing the hybrid high voltage battery is very intensive and costly. And to that fact, you are basically right. It is something that you don't want to incur down the road. It can be thousands of dollars. But here's what's not true and accurate, is that at a specific point, time, age, kilometers of your Toyota hybrid vehicle, that you will have to replace that hybrid high voltage battery. It's not the case. It's different on every scenario or in every situation. For example, we've got many vehicles that have crossed our service department, hybrid Toyotas, of course, that have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of kilometers on them with the original battery still in place and intact from Toyota. So what does this all mean for you as a Toyota hybrid vehicle owner or potential Toyota hybrid vehicle owner? Well, did you know that the factory Toyota hybrid specific warranty covers you for up to 10 years or 240,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. That is a long time for a manufacturer to cover any issues or defects that arise in your hybrid related components. So the chances of having to replace that hybrid high voltage battery and incurring an additional cost, at least in the short term or first couple of years of ownership, is extremely, extremely low. So the good news here is that you don't really have to worry about touching or doing anything to your high voltage hybrid battery unless something goes wrong or it's showing signs of any issues. For the most part, there's nothing really to do to your hybrid high voltage battery in terms of maintenance, except for this one thing that I'm going to mention later on in this video. So make sure you stick around. And if you follow these tips that I'm going to give you, it will help to ensure the longevity and peak performance of your hybrid powertrain system. All right, when we're talking about oil changes, because your hybrid powertrain system isn't always using the combustion engine and is usually sometimes yielding to the electric motor and hybrid powertrain system, the combustion engine isn't being used all the time. So one would think, and a lot of viewers and customers think, that your oil change interval can be stretched out or is stretched out, or you don't need oil changes as often. But guys, this isn't the case. It's not the fact. You still need an oil change on your combustion engine of your Toyota hybrid vehicle every 16,000 kilometers as recommended by Toyota. Now, this is the case whether you're driving a non-hybrid Toyota, for example, RAV4, a hybrid Toyota RAV4, or even a plug-in hybrid Toyota RAV4. The oil change intervals are always going to be every 16,000 kilometers. Now, in this video, I'm only talking about 4 or 5 key points on how to properly care and maximize the best out of your hybrid powertrain system, plus one extra tip later on. But if you want a further, more detailed breakdown of what to expect for maintenance, how to properly care for your Toyota hybrid system, increase longevity and efficiency, and also how the hybrid powertrain system works, then I'm going to leave a link in the description below. You can check out and get yourself a copy of an ebook, but more on to these top performance tips of your Toyota hybrid powertrain system. When it comes to overall brake maintenance in terms of brake fluid replacements or servicing of your brakes, don't take this lightly. Make sure you stay on top of it and you do what's recommended by Toyota from the scheduled maintenance guide. By the way, guys, I'll leave a link in the description below. You guys can actually key in what type of Toyota hybrid vehicle you have, plug in the year, the mileage, or the type of driving you do, and it will spit out what's recommended from Toyota to do in terms of service work or maintenance work on your Toyota hybrid vehicle. But don't take the servicing of the brakes or the brakes in general lightly. Here's why. So in general, servicing your brakes is important really for 2 reasons on a Toyota hybrid vehicle. One is for your safety, to make sure you'll actually stop when you want to stop your vehicle. And 2 is to ensure the efficiency of your regenerative braking system. Unlike traditional combustion engine vehicles, Toyota hybrid vehicles use regenerative braking to store and transfer energy back into the hybrid high voltage battery system. Regenerative braking stores and captures energy, which is then transferred back to your hybrid high voltage battery system. This generally takes place while your vehicle is coasting or you're not accelerating, and of course, while you're pressing the brakes. If part of your brake components have any issues or need servicing, for example, your brake pads, your calipers, your rotors, and if it's neglected, it could interfere with the smooth transition that's supposed to take place between regenerative braking and actual mechanical braking of your Toyota hybrid vehicle. So to ensure longevity, top performance, and efficiency of your Toyota hybrid vehicle and prevent any wear and tear, make sure you pay close attention and don't skip any recommended brake work on your Toyota hybrid vehicle. Replacing the brake fluid and brake service is a small maintenance that down the road could save you money, and if not taken care of could cost you more down the road, especially when you're talking about fuel efficiency. Now, if you are watching this video and you do not own or drive a Toyota hybrid vehicle, that probably means that you're driving a non-hybrid Toyota RAV4, Toyota Camry, or Toyota Highlander. Well, I still have some good news for you. That means that you are going to be able to pick yourself up a set of all-weather custom fitting floor mats from LastFit, who is the sponsor of this video. Guys, so far LastFit has sent me all-weather custom fitting floor mats for multiple trims and models of Toyota vehicles like the Toyota 4Runner, the Toyota Camry, and the Toyota RAV4. And I gotta tell you, the fit and finish and quality of these mats is unmatched. They are made from a premium TPE material, which, by the way, if you don't know already, TPE is an actual thermal plastic which combines the best of both worlds from the properties of plastic and the properties of rubber, which is why these mats are not stiff, hard, or don't give off any offensive odors. They're actually quite flexible, pliable, easy to install and easy to uninstall, and very easy to clean. They are also precision laser cut, giving you a perfect fit throughout your entire interior floor, covering higher edges and corners, especially the hump if you have one in your backseat row. And some even better news is that on Monday, July 14th, I will be dropping a video which will feature a giveaway for a set of all-weather custom fitting floor mats for a Toyota RAV4. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the notification bell, and don't miss that video. Again, if you want better protection from your OEM mats and you want to cover higher edges and better cornering around your interior for further protection, make sure you check out LastFit, which I'll put a link in the description below for your set of custom fitting all-weather floor mats. Now, let's get back to the hybrid conversation. Proper care of your tires is also critical and crucial to peak performance of your Toyota hybrid vehicle. Let me explain. You see, it's important at the recommended interval to rotate or change your tires if they're worn out. And here's why. Did you know that a Toyota hybrid vehicle is heavier than a Toyota non-hybrid vehicle? For example, a Toyota RAV4 hybrid weighs in at 3,775 pounds, whereas the exact same Toyota, just in a non-hybrid version, weighs in at 3,362 pounds. That's a difference of 413 pounds due to the extra weight of the hybrid-related components on your, for example, Toyota RAV4 hybrid. So it's important to ensure even wear on your Toyota hybrid vehicle tires and to replace them when needed to ensure the peak performance of your vehicle. By properly maintaining your tires, you're not only saving money by extending their lifespan, but you're also improving fuel efficiency as well-maintained tires roll smoother and use less energy. There's two filters that you cannot skip to replace, service, or check during the ownership of your Toyota hybrid vehicle. One of them, of course, is your cabin air filter. The other is your hybrid battery air filter. Let me explain. You see, regularly checking and replacing both the cabin air filter and the hybrid battery air filter in your Toyota hybrid is vital for both comfort and performance. The cabin air filter keeps the air inside your vehicle clean by trapping dust, pollen, and other pollutants, crucial for your health and HVAC efficiency. Meanwhile, the hybrid battery air filter plays a crucial role in cooling the battery system and that high voltage battery. A clogged battery air filter can lead to overheating, which will reduce the battery efficiency, lifespan, and could potentially create some long-term damage down the road. If you want overall reliability and longevity and comfort while you're owning and driving your Toyota hybrid vehicle, don't skip your cabin air filter and don't ignore your hybrid battery air filter either. All right, here's my tip that I wanted to give you guys that you may not know about. If you have a late model Toyota vehicle that has the remote connect, service connect, this applies if it's a hybrid or non-hybrid, but let's keep on the hybrid topic. You can actually do a remote diagnostic or do a health check on your Toyota hybrid RAV4, Camry, whatever model it is, just from your phone, mobile device, and app. That's right from the palm of your hand, you can check certain functionalities or potential issues on your Toyota hybrid vehicle. For example, any outstanding safety recalls, service campaigns, you can check vehicle alerts, and just overall vehicle health report. Using and checking this part of your Toyota hybrid vehicle through the app right out of your smartphone can help to avoid any potential surprises down the road and will help you stay on top of the overall health of your Toyota hybrid vehicle. All right, everyone, that's a wrap. Let me know what you think about the tips I've given you to help you get the most and best out of your Toyota hybrid vehicle. Maybe you're doing some of this already. Maybe you agree with me. Maybe you don't. Let me know in the comments below. Is the maintenance on a Toyota hybrid vehicle really more expensive or more invasive than that of a regular gasoline combustion vehicle? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to break down everything that you need to know about owning and maintaining your Toyota hybrid vehicle. So a lot of consumers, viewers, and customers have this conception or think or believe that owning a Toyota hybrid will be more expensive to maintain than owning a non-Toyota hybrid vehicle. Is that really true? Is that really the case? First of all, let's talk about why so many drivers believe that the maintenance on a Toyota hybrid vehicle costs more in the first place. So a lot of this starts with the higher sticker price or higher upfront cost on a Toyota hybrid versus a Toyota non-hybrid. And in general, people assume that if the car costs more upfront, then the maintenance has to be higher too. Then there's a huge misconception that the hybrids have new technology that hasn't been tried, tested, and proven in the past, and new technology must be expensive to repair, right? And then you have, of course, the internet. Forums, social media, they often amplify the worst case scenarios. If someone had a rare, expensive repair, suddenly it becomes all hybrids are money pits and it becomes the norm. But that's not the case. These type of stories or posts that you see rarely show the full picture and definitely do not reflect what the average Toyota hybrid owner actually experiences. Now let's take a moment to demystify the actual major hybrid related components. In a modern day Toyota hybrid vehicle, you have three major hybrid specific components. One is the hybrid high voltage traction battery, two would be the inverter, and three would be the hybrid transaxle. Here's the surprising part, which you probably don't realize. These specific major hybrid components are actually designed and engineered to last the entire life of the vehicle itself. That's right, Toyota designed them for reliability and longevity and not for frequent replacement. Before I go any further, I just want to take a quick second to say thank you to all of my new subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't already done so, I've been doing some research on this channel and did notice a lot of viewers that keep coming back to watch my videos, watch videos like this, are not subscribed or not subscribing. In case that's one of you, please take a moment to go down and hit that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me. One of the most talked about misconceptions, which is the hybrid high voltage battery, might be the most talked about related component. It's actually one of the longest lasting components in the whole vehicle itself. For example, there are Prius models on the road with well over 300,000 miles. If you convert that to kilometers, we're talking about nearly 500,000 kilometers, and they still have the original running high voltage battery in the vehicle. Plus, in a Toyota hybrid vehicle, the electric motors usually handle a lot of the work that normally stresses out regular gasoline combustion engine components, meaning there's a potential for less wear on things like alternators, starters, and even the engine itself. Oh, and by the way, in the first place, there actually is no regular conventional alternator in Toyota hybrid vehicles. Then in a Toyota hybrid vehicle, when compared to a non-Toyota hybrid vehicle, you have something called regenerative braking. Now, if you wanted to know a little bit more
more detailed, specific information of exactly what to expect if you're owning a Toyota hybrid vehicle, how to maximize efficiency and overall improve longevity, then you can check out the available ebook in the description below. It's about 50 pages long and explains in more detail what to expect and how a new owner can basically improve their experience owning a Toyota hybrid vehicle. But let's continue on with this review and discussion. In regenerative braking, the system sends energy back to that hybrid high voltage battery every time you slow down or press the brakes. This means a massive potential for far less wear and tear on items like brake pads. And did you know that statistically, many hybrid Toyota owners have nearly 80 to 100,000 miles on their Toyota hybrid vehicle before even needing to replace those brake pads? Now, getting back to the core of this video, which is comparing the overall maintenance schedule or intervals from a Toyota hybrid to, let's say, a non-Toyota hybrid, same model, same vehicle. So for example, let's take a Toyota RAV4 hybrid versus a regular gasoline only Toyota RAV4, or for example, a gasoline model Camry versus a hybrid Toyota Camry. The maintenance schedules are nearly identical. Essentially, on a Toyota hybrid vehicle, you're actually doing the same in the service department that you would on a Toyota non-hybrid vehicle. In fact, there's actually a couple less things you'd be doing. I'll get to that in a second. But for example, you're still going to be doing oil changes, tire rotations, cabin air filter replacements, engine air filter replacements, brake inspection, fluid changes, and overall tire alignment. These don't really change when you're driving a Toyota hybrid or a non-hybrid Toyota. There is no special hybrid related tune-ups and there's no monthly hybrid inspections needed. Toyota does recommend a quick hybrid battery health check, but in many cases that's included in a regular service visit anyways and only takes literally a few minutes to do. Here's the big kicker, and this is probably what most posts and forums don't really mention or talk about, and that is that the scheduled Toyota maintenance cost for a hybrid often matches and sometimes undercuts slightly the cost of maintaining a traditional gasoline Toyota. In general, since the brakes themselves are known to last longer in a Toyota hybrid vehicle, things like wear and tear items in the hybrid can actually cost less in routine service over the time that you own the vehicle. Hybrid Toyotas deliver value in ways that most drivers don't even think about. First off is the obvious fuel consumption and fuel savings. You're saving hundreds, if not thousands, depending on how much you drive and how you drive yearly just on fuel. Number two, resale value. In general, when you're comparing resale value on a Toyota hybrid vehicle versus a Toyota non-hybrid vehicle, the numbers are incredibly well because buyers trust the technology and reliability of a hybrid specifically, and a well-maintained hybrid often sells for more than a well-maintained non-hybrid equivalent. Number three would have to be overall reduced mechanical wear and tear. Hybrid Toyota vehicles don't really have any mechanical starters or alternators to wear down, and that is because the electric motor handles most of the low-speed work. The engine isn't firing up as often, and when it does, it's operating more efficiently. Tackling the biggest fear, and that is replacing the hybrid high voltage battery or traction battery, depending on what type of Toyota hybrid you have. Everyone, here's the reality. Toyota hybrids come with a long standard manufacturer covered warranty on hybrid specific related components. You generally have 3-year comprehensive or a 5-year powertrain, engine, transmission, but the hybrid related components are much longer than that. Statistically, failure rates on a hybrid high voltage battery are actually incredibly low. And even if the worst case scenario does happen for whatever reason and you need to replace your hybrid high voltage battery, in general, from what the prices were in the past, they have come down and there is alternative options as well. So really everyone, after breaking everything down all the way from the components to the schedules to the overall cost and long-term value, here's the very clear answer on Toyota hybrid vehicles. It is not more expensive or more invasive to maintain a Toyota hybrid than a Toyota non-hybrid vehicle. In some cases, it's actually cheaper than owning a traditional gasoline-only vehicle. Overall, Toyota hybrid vehicles are known to be some of the most reliable hybrid vehicles on the road today, with fewer wear and tear items, great fuel savings, and overall strong
resale value compared to their non-hybrid equivalents. Well, even though I put this video out there, there's still going to be a lot of controversy and denial over the benefits that a Toyota hybrid offers versus a Toyota non-hybrid vehicle, but Toyota does have a strong stance on this. It is the way of the future, at least for the company, and you can see that by all of the conversions from the gasoline to the hybrid only models. For example, Toyota Camry, Toyota Land Cruiser, the Crown lineup, Toyota Sienna, and even the biggest seller in the Toyota world being the RAV4, electrified only, hybrid or plug-in hybrid. I'm going to break down 4 signs that could mean your Toyota hybrid system isn't performing at its best, struggling, or needs some attention. Now, this is super important if you own or currently drive a Toyota hybrid vehicle, whether it's a 2018 model or a newer model, so that you can spot any issues before they become costly repairs. Okay, let's start off with the most obvious telltale sign, and that is usually going to be displayed on that screen, which is your multi-information display screen right behind your steering wheel. Sometimes it's 7 inches wide, 12 inches wide, depends the model and trim that you have for Toyota. And you will be able to customize a lot of your features and settings on the vehicle when it comes to multimedia, settings in terms of lock, unlock features, but there's also a section that will display any warning lights if you have them, especially the master warning light and the check engine light. Let me explain. In Toyota hybrid vehicles, the master warning light is usually represented by a triangle with an exclamation point right in the center. Now, when that light comes up, not always, but usually, it could mean that the Toyota hybrid system has detected some kind of issue or fault. It could also mean that it's something simple like your tire pressure warning light, but make sure you pay attention to that light and do address it immediately. Now, to properly diagnose what the actual alert means and represents, you'll have to go into your Toyota dealership so they can hook up the proper scanning equipment to see exactly what's going on. Pause for just a second, everyone. Maybe if you're a regular viewer, you noticed I've got this new contraption here, this oversized microphone, because I got a lot of peer pressure and heat on my channel from using this more mobile Rode microphone, which I really loved, but I kept seeing all these comments saying, hey, get a proper microphone. Well, this definitely is a proper microphone. It's very reputable company and brand, but I went ahead and got myself this style. Not sure if I like it. You guys can let me know in the comments below. Also, one more thing, I did a quick checkup on the channel's analytics, and I realized that like 85 to 90% of the viewers that keep coming back to watch this channel and watch videos like this are actually not subscribed, which I was a little bit disappointed about. So hopefully you guys can take 1 second and please subscribe to the Toyota World YouTube channel. Let's go on with the telltale sign number 2. Okay, another sign that you need to pay close attention to your Toyota hybrid system is a noticeable decline in fuel economy and overall performance of your Toyota hybrid vehicle. Let me explain. For example, let's say you drive a 5 or a 7-year-old Toyota Camry hybrid or a RAV4 hybrid, and you notice that you're going from 600 or 700 kilometers to a tank all the way down to 400 kilometers to a full tank or 450 kilometers to a full tank. That could definitely be a red flag for your Toyota hybrid system, and it needs to be addressed. Also, if it's combined with something like sluggish and a decreased responsiveness on acceleration, especially at a stop, whether it's a red light or a stop sign, and it's not so responsive as it used to be, and it's combined with an overall drop in your fuel consumption all of a sudden, then yes, this could be a red flag and you should get it looked at. You see, the hybrid battery and the electric motor both help to boost efficiency and power, but when the battery starts to degrade, the gas engine takes over more, causing your miles per gallon or fuel consumption to plummet, and does affect your overall performance on takeoff. This could all mean that your hybrid high voltage battery, which is usually that large, wide battery that sits underneath the floor bed or right underneath or around the rear passenger or middle passenger seats of your Toyota hybrid vehicle, could be degrading or dropping in overall capacity. And everyone, check out the description in this video. I'm going to leave a little bonus knowledge or tip that you can use if you drive a Toyota hybrid vehicle to maximize the efficiency. The number 3 item on the list to watch out for are any strange noises or awkward, unusual behaviors coming from the Toyota hybrid system. Let me explain. Now, keep one thing in mind before I go any further with this point. Generally, Toyota hybrid vehicles are extremely pleasant to drive. They're very quiet, very responsive. They're quiet from the outside and they're quiet from the inside cabin as well. But if all of a sudden you're starting to hear noises like grinding, whining, or strange clicking sounds coming from underneath the floor or near the wheels, this could signal trouble with the electric motor, inverter, or the hybrid transmission. Especially if you're noticing these noises combined with your combustion engine cycling on and off erratically or a jerky acceleration. These signs could mean that the hybrid control system is struggling to manage power due to failing components. Telltale sign number 4. Now, this one goes back to number 1. It's kind of a visual. You won't really know this unless you see it. For example, as I said, telltale sign number 1 is any warning signs, especially ones with an exclamation point, watch out for. Telltale sign number 4 is going to be when your hybrid high voltage battery is not holding a charge or recharging as it should be or as it used to be. For example, almost every Toyota hybrid vehicle, whether it's a RAV4 hybrid, a Prius, a Toyota Tundra, will have a energy guide monitor. I think that's what it's called. And what it is, it's a window either on your multi-information display system, or you can usually view it from your multimedia system. And what it does is it actually shows you the energy flow of your Toyota hybrid system. For example, when you are doing regenerative braking, it will show you power getting transferred back to your high voltage battery. When you are accelerating, it will show you what is being used to accelerate, whether it's only your combustion engine or your electric motor or both. But one thing to keep an eye on is your high voltage hybrid battery as you are using regenerative braking or as it is recharging. Toyota hybrids rely on regenerative braking and the overall hybrid system operation to recharge that hybrid high voltage battery while you use the vehicle. Now, during some use and aspects of your Toyota hybrid vehicle, it could be normal for your hybrid high voltage battery to not be recharged, for example, on constant acceleration on the highway or freeway. But if you're overall using your vehicle in stop and go traffic or regular daily use, you should notice your hybrid high voltage battery recharging to a full battery capacity or a near full battery capacity, as I'm showing you on this screen right now. But if you notice your hybrid high voltage battery all of a sudden isn't recharging, even though you are using regenerative braking, coasting, and doing everything that you should be doing to get your hybrid high voltage battery back to a regular full capacity, whether it's full or just shy of being full, then you should address it and you should get it checked out and looked at. For example, if it doesn't go past the halfway point or it gets to less than the halfway point during your daily regular use, then it could mean that there is something that needs to be addressed, especially if it's combined with any of those other 3 telltale signs that I mentioned and talked about in this video, especially a drop or a reduction in fuel consumption, as this could mean that your hybrid high voltage battery cells themselves could be failing, which often leads to rapid battery depletion and poor hybrid system performance. Now, just to wrap up, what do you do if you notice any of these signs? Just the same way that we need to take care of ourselves, and if we see anything wrong or feel anything wrong, visit your doctor. Well, your Toyota dealer is like the doctor for your Toyota hybrid vehicle. So here's what I recommend you do if you notice any of these concerns. Number 1 is don't ignore the problem or don't ignore the change. An early diagnostic can save you in the long run, so make sure you visit your Toyota dealer right away. Now, although I don't recommend this, but I can tell that it happens because I see it from some of the comments on my past videos. Some of you use a non-Toyota store or mechanic to service your Toyota vehicle. I definitely don't recommend this if it's a Toyota hybrid vehicle. Make sure you're addressing any of these questions or concerns with your Toyota hybrid vehicle with a certified Toyota mechanic. Third thing to keep in mind, if you drive a late model Toyota hybrid vehicle, that means that you have one of the best in the automotive business backed manufacturer warranty on your electric or hybrid powertrain system with a minimum of 8 years. So don't be afraid to visit your Toyota dealer with any of these concerns you might have. Fourth recommendation on what you should do if you're driving a Toyota hybrid vehicle, regardless if you're noticing any concerns or not, is don't skip or miss any of your scheduled routine maintenance, whether it's your first service or your third or eighth service. Make sure you do them, and make sure you do them on time, and make sure you do them with a Toyota dealer. This will preserve and ensure longevity, performance, and overall enjoyment for your Toyota hybrid vehicle. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video topic and review, and please let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this huge microphone contraption that I think I didn't need, but it's okay. I'm doing it for the viewers, like a lot of these videos. So if this video was any help to you, and if you learned anything, let me know in the comments below. Catch you guys on the next one. Take care.